And today I want to talk about just having, a spiritual reset and getting back on track with your goals because, the first quarter kind of like it was just a trial run, really. Like the new year is starting now and everything is, blooming and growing outside. So, of course, like we can start over now, right? Like, why wait until Monday? Why wait until next month? Why wait until next year when we have goals we want to accomplish right now? How we're still going after our goals in 2025, even if we, just had a little bit of a slip up. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't help that, but we can help how we move forward, right? So, number one is recognize the disconnect. So, are you feeling like more tired than you usually would, even though you're getting a good night's rest? If you're like just feeling lots of anxiousness, like discomfort, if you are also skipping devotionals, and I was guilty of that for a while. I was skipping my devotional. I was skipping my Spanish lesson. I haven't been reading my book. And maybe you're looking to other people more than you would for either validation, confirmation, or just relying on their connection more than your own. Well, then this part is for you because you need to recognize that you are disconnected. And that means you need to turn and go back, right? So I just want to keep this in mind that it is very normal to have this season of your life where it's just kind of like life starts lifing and taking over, and you're not really focusing on the things that you knew you wanted to prioritize at this point, or life is lifing and you're upset or not feeling the best on where things are going or where they're headed in your life. And so you kind of just take a step back from your relationship with God, and that's definitely all a plan of the enemy to get you distracted and get you feeling uncomfortable so that you can't step away from God, because he knows that if you have that relationship and connection with him, then you know that you can make it through whatever valley you're in. And so once you identify where you are disconnected, it will allow you to say, aha, like, okay, I'm going to take this to God. But long story short, is building your God-centered routine, because, and I have done previous videos where I have my God-centered morning routine and my God-centered night routine. So I will have those up at the top of this video somewhere. But that also consists of, and for me personally, I can't, okay, so I feel more gratitude towards God in the morning. Not that I don't have gratitude towards him in the evening, but I find myself like doing more deep dives in the evening than I would in the morning. Like in the morning, I'm just very grateful and really in a place of worship, really just trying to set the tone for my day. Whereas in the evening, I take that time to read and actually study more dense material than I would in the mornings, if that makes any sense at all. Um, Also, I have spiritual reminders on my phone, and that's just basically when the Bible app like comes up and says, oh, like here's the verse of today, or oh, here's your 3-minute like Bible study, like your devotional that you can log on and do like in the evenings real quick, and just making sure that that's just staying at the top of mind for me. Yeah. And then another thing that I actually am doing is habit tracking. I did download this app to do that, but I don't know if I'm going to use the app or the method that I have been using, or if I'm going to switch back to Notion. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my habit tracking app, but tracking those habits and making sure that you are recording yourself so that you can see the progress that you've made. I will use this analogy. You know how like apps have streaks? Like create yourself a streak so that you're giving yourself a little bit of dopamine hit whenever you're like checking off that you accomplished this goal for today. Like for instance, Duolingo's CEO has said that having streaks encourages people to come back more than if there were no streaks. That's why TikTok got streaks. That's why Snapchat added streaks. It's to reward you to come back and do the same activity over and over so you don't mess up the streak. Oh, this is what I was going to say about my habit. Okay, so if you, and I think I said, anyway, If you are looking to add a habit or change a habit, remove a habit, then I would just add one habit at a time. Like for me, at the beginning of the year, I was really like, okay, I want to change all these things, so I'm going to change all those things right now. Whereas that's not sustainable because that's not the life I live. So now I'm just trying to chip away one thing at a time and replacing it with something I love, which is also very fun too because that allows me to explore what am I loving to do right now. Like I really liked coloring in the summer, I mean in the winter, and right now I have a garden growing for the spring, and so that's a hobby that I really enjoy doing. So just replacing an old habit with a good habit, but you have the freedom to try different things in the meantime so that you can, just really experiment. And that's the fun part about the hobby sometimes. Moving right along is detoxing your mind. So, of course, if you are wanting to reset for your goals and get back on track, then detoxing your mind is like so important. And of course, you can unfollow some accounts. Sometimes I just hide accounts where it's like I don't see them, but I still follow them. Also, you can like physically change your algorithm. And I have done that a couple of times on TikTok. I find that TikTok is the easiest one for me to change the algorithm with than Instagram. But I don't really think that I'm on Instagram like that anymore anyway. I would say if you are looking to change your algorithm into what you want to see more of, let's say, ooh, prime example. I don't like watching the Real Housewives. I don't really like the franchise in general, or Married to Medicine. I really don't like Real Housewives. I just can't like really get into it, but my friends love it. Okay. So what I do is instead of watching the episode, I just watch the commentary like on TikTok. So for a while, I was just inundated with so much Real Housewives stuff that I knew more of what they had going on than the friends who was watching the show. Just because I didn't want to sit and watch the hour-long thing, I would just catch like 5 or 10 minutes of a commentary and move on by my day. But I will say that I am trying to actively change that again to go back to incorporating more Christian like TikToks, if that makes sense, because that's what my feed was for a while. And then before that, I was like on my conspiracy train. So I had a lot of conspiracy theories on my timeline. I'm a huge conspiracy theorist if you don't know me. But nevertheless, changing your algorithm to make sure that if you are going to be on social media, that you are fed what you want to be fed. And to wrap this whole video up in a cute little bow, like I said in the beginning, you don't have to wait until Monday to start. You don't have to wait until next month to start. Just start today. Just start today on whatever is like being like weighing the heaviest on your heart. Pray about that today. Doesn't mean you have to give it up today. Doesn't mean you have to make that change today. Just start communing with God and just saying like, God, this is on my heart. Like, what are you telling me to do with this? And just listen for his feedback so that you are making the right move, if that makes sense. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. It would be great. And watch it a couple times. Okay. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.